Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. It's me, Eric, one of the education specialists for Eastern Banks Learning and Life Center, and we are currently in the school greenhouse. Before we get into today's video, which I know you guys are excited to do, thank you so much for our current subscribers that have subscribed and joined our community of those interested in learning about gardening, supporting youth, and the work that we do. If you are new to our channel and have not yet subscribed, please do so. Also, like this video, comment below, share this video, and do not forget to click the notification bell to be notified of when we drop new videos, which is every single week. In the upcoming videos after this one today, we will be posting more and more. In the life cycle series, we provide pertinent information in relation to particular and specific vegetables. So as you see right here on your screen, we have done garlic, we've done tomatoes, green beans, and squash, and cucumbers, and peppers. And we have so many more vegetables to do. And as you see in the title of today's video, we'll be doing cabbage. So before we even discuss how we plant cabbages, how we take care of them all the way until harvest, we must first understand what cabbages are and what family they come from. So the origin of the cabbage plant was in the Middle East actually, and part of Western Asia, also known as Asia Minor. These cabbages then led to the cultivation of other vegetables in the Brassica family that we now know of, including collard greens, kale, kohlrabi, and even pak choi. The scientific name of the Brassica family is Brassicaceae, which all of these different vegetables came from a mothering mustard plant. Cultivators and scientists alike have been able to select specific characteristics of that mothering mustard plant in order for us to have all of these different vegetables known to us that we normally grow in the fall, in the spring. Did you know that there are over 3,700 species of brassicas? When you're starting off your cabbage, we have these little green pots here, and we start them out in these containers. Our students mistakenly put a little bit too many cabbage seeds in these pots. However, they're still growing and they're alive, and we can still transplant them into the garden or into these large containers. So as you see, we have mustard greens here, which are a part of the Brassica family, as well as pak choi. And you can always, if you don't have enough gardening space at home, whether you live in a one-bedroom apartment or you don't have that much green space or patio space in a house, you can always use pots. And you see how these plants are doing wonderfully in these pots. We haven't tried to grow any cabbage in pots just yet, but we will have an attempt this spring, 2024, with growing cabbage in pots. And we will take you on that journey. It's quite easy, just like it's easy to grow peppers and squash in pots. You can grow your cabbage in pots as well. We mentioned this before in a video when we were talking about seedlings, and this is a great product to have, the Dr. Earth's Pure Gold Handcrafted Premium Blend Pump and Grow All-Purpose Plant Food. It's a liquid. Again, liquids are taken up so much faster by your plants than the little pebbles. And we put that liquid in the trays, and then we put water in the trays, and then put the plants in their containers. And that allows the plants to get even bigger once they have already produced their true leaves. I will put a little description or definition of what we mean by true leaves, so you'll know for your benefit. Once the cabbage plants develop their true leaves, we then transplant them into their own container. As you see here, we have some Napa cabbage seedlings that are growing along with kale. These will be planted out in the garden very soon. We may even give some of these their own larger pot, like a large pot like this, because the temperatures are dropping quickly, and so we may not have the time to transplant every single cabbage plant in the garden. Once our cabbages reach the point of no return in those pots, since they're so small, it is then time to transplant them. Since brassicas are really, really heavy feeders, especially cabbage. You must always provide them a source of nutrition. Like at the time of your planting, you want to put in your compost, your worm castings, which is aka worm poop, and your fertilizer. But then over the time of the growing period for your cabbage, you know, they're going to get big. You want them to get big so that once you harvest them, you have enough to last you, right? And so you want to make sure that every so often, we normally do it in our gardens every 2 weeks. But every so often, you come out and you feed your cabbage plants, especially when it's raining in the fall. That natural rain has all of those minerals in it, and by you fertilizing at the time of the rain, it will create such a burst of energy for your plants to take up. So like I was saying, in the initial phase of planting out your cabbages, or the different type of cabbages that you could have, you want to make sure that you are putting compost in. So we do have compost in this soil. We have worm castings and fertilizer, and today we will be fertilizing with a fish liquid fertilizer, which actually allows the plants to take it up so much faster than the little pebbles of fertilizer that you could get from your local gardening center. We have so many different cabbages that we are going to show you right now. We have Chinese cabbage, aka Napa cabbage. We have purple cabbage. Some people call it red cabbage. And then we have your standard green cabbage. With these cabbages, we have them in different phases of their growing cycle. Some are ready to be harvested, which we will harvest and show you how to harvest today, and the characteristics of a cabbage plant that is ready to be harvested, so you'll know when you can harvest your cabbage. And we also have cabbage that are just seedlings that have just been transplanted out in the past 2 weeks. So we are sticking to our notion of staggered planting, which we have talked about constantly on our channel, which allows you to not harvest all of your produce at one time. You want to be able to harvest at different times so that throughout your growing season, whichever it may be, whether it's spring, summer, or fall, you'll still have produce coming from your garden. As you can see here, these Napa cabbages are not quite ready yet. They're still producing the center portion of their head that they will be growing. So hopefully before we get too much cold weather, they would have produced that center portion which we harvest. In regards to these Chinese cabbages over here, along with our little froggy friend, they are getting larger and larger. Next year, this was only a test because these certain plants here, which we have Napa cabbage, broccoli, Swiss chard, and alyssum, they were starting to die. We didn't think that they would actually survive because they were so small when we transplanted them, and we just decided, hey, they're growing. If they live, they live. If not, at least we tried. To our surprise, they grew, and as you can see, they've kind of overgrown this area. But we're gonna keep letting them do their thing and letting them grow. Soon enough, we'll be harvesting that cabbage, which will give that broccoli enough space to get even bigger. So when you're considering growing cabbage, you wanna make sure that your cabbage grows in the fall, towards the winter time, or early spring, towards the end of spring. Because cabbage is, again, a brassica, and it's mainly just leaves that you're growing, and so with the leaves, they don't like high heat, right? With the cooler temperatures, you're able to grow so many different types of cabbages, which allows you to have a full harvest. Because not only a full harvest, but you're able to do so many different recipes in terms of cooking with these cabbages. When trying to understand, is it time to harvest my cabbage? When do I harvest? There are 2 signs that you need to look for. The first sign is, how big is your cabbage? Has it grown to the size of your hand, or even larger to the size of your head? And the second sign is to test its firmness. Once it's firm to your liking, then all you need to do is twist and pull. I actually don't have my clippers today, so I'm gonna have to like pull and twist. Oh my gosh, look at this monster. This is literally big as my head. This is awesome. That's the end of this video. We hope you learned a little bit on cabbages, where they come from, what family they're a part of, and how to achieve this type of harvest right here. Let us know in the comments if you've ever grown Savoy cabbage or any other type of cabbage. Let us know how helpful this video was, what you learned from it, and please share it to others in your network. Please follow us for more information on our programs and the work that we do in our community by following us on Facebook and Instagram at EBLLC INC and on TikTok at Project Grape. Thank you guys so much. Watch the next video and we will see you all later in the garden. Bye.